Hello everybody, welcome to yet another exciting adventure on the road to becoming a billionaire. Luckily the universe is much more benevolent than most humans are, because the universe repays you based on your intention, not just on the words you use. And this is my intro into the fact that I did actually do I was very pleased with the video yesterday. But when I uploaded it, I pressed the delete button instead. So luckily the universe will let me off of that because I did actually do the work. Everything's about commitment in the law of attraction. And it's there, it's got your back all the time, the universe. So whether we call the universe the creator or God or the universal field or whatever, it's still got your back, it still cares about you more than anything else. And it's all about love. So when you make mess ups like I did pressing the wrong key yesterday, it's not going to turn around and bite you in the back. It's just going to realise that you were trying. That's a good job really, because most of my life's been like that. Anyway, I'm sorry that today's video is not very good. The other thing that I did yesterday was I managed to blow up my MacBook. And as you can see, I'm still in hospital, so my chance of getting that repaired quickly is quite low unless I can do it myself. But since I lost 70% of my brain in the stroke, it's been much more hard to actually do the things I used to be able to do without thinking about. Unfortunately, I do need to think about them now, and it takes a little bit longer than it used to. Anyway, I'd prepared quite a good outline for you that I was going to go through today, but that's sort of stored on the hard drive of the Mac that's gone wrong. So I'll upload that to you as soon as I can get the Mac fixed. I'm sorry to let you down again, but there is some pretty good stuff coming up in the next few days if I can actually get myself into gear properly and get things done properly without pressing delete buttons. Actually, the whole thing about using the law of attraction to become a billionaire doesn't worry me at all. The only slight concern I've got is seeing how hard it is to use YouTube effectively. And I just tried using YouTube Studio yesterday before I uploaded the video, and golly, that seems complicated. Getting to £1 billion using the law of attraction is simple by comparison, and I promise you that you will be able to get whatever dreams you want to become reality. So in the interim period, until I get myself into gear properly, please spend some time thinking what you'd really like to get out of life. Mine has always been very clear to me since I was 8 years old. But what happens is during life we sort of lose focus slightly because of other things. You know, for me, I had children, so I decided that money wasn't as important as being with them. And I'm sure I made the right decision, but it's those sorts of redirections that we decide upon that determine whether we reach the goals we've actually set, which is why we have to decide what is important to us at the beginning. So if you really do want to achieve something in your life, you have to write it down and you have to make it clear what you want to achieve. I've never done all of the gratitude stuff that everyone does every day, according to the internet books, and it works based on what you feel in your heart, not what you actually say and write down. It's a bit like the way I was taught about Jesus the Christ, peace be upon him, and when I was little, and you know, that he would forgive you for everything. But anyway, I'll just leave it there and just say, please try to think of the things you really want to achieve. I am going to tell you something that all of the other law of attraction people tell you shouldn't do. They always say you shouldn't tell other people what your goals are. But to be honest, it doesn't really make any difference. If you're determined in your heart to achieve something and you're not going to give up, it doesn't matter whether you tell people. In fact, it can be quite a good spur to keep you on track, so that if you're one of those people that care what other people think about you, which I don't, as you can tell, sitting here in hospital pyjamas. Anyway, if you care about what other people think, and you don't realise how powerful we are as individuals, and how much the universe or the Creator really does love us, and how everything is really powered by love, then you don't have to sort of worry about anything. Sorry, I went off track a bit. Hopefully I'll get my Mac mended soon so I can get the proper video up. I've split everything down into really nice little modules now to go through with you. And as soon as I can get that done, I'll get the bulletin of the blog up and running on my website for you, so you can read the rubbish that I'm trying to explain badly to you. I'm sorry these are not working out the way I'd like them to have been. It does highlight a very important thing though, which is that a lot of the things we're conditioned to do in society, always try to do everything perfect, is what stops us from actually achieving anything in our lives. When I used to work writing in newspapers years ago, one of my really fantastic editors said to me, look, there's no such thing as writer's block. I can prove it to you. And he did. He just put a thing in the paper saying, phone up and say if you've got writer's block and I'll cure it in 5 minutes for you. And it's really simple. We just strive for perfection all the time, and that stops us from actually taking the first step. And the thing that's been highlighted to me since I had the stroke and haven't been able to walk is that the hardest thing is when you can't walk, you try to step and then you think, oh, I might fall. I will probably fall, because I do keep falling and I do keep breaking bones. And the problem is that stops you from doing anything. The law of attraction works based on what's in your heart, not what you actually do. You have to really, like in the way I was taught about Jesus the Christ when I was little, peace be upon him. He was like your best friend who really loved you and would look after you and hold you and keep you above water whatever happened. And that's what the law of attraction's like. It will pick you up if you're falling and help you. And as long as you've got the right feeling in your heart. And that doesn't mean you have to be a totally good person for it to work. You just have to have that determination to succeed. I'm sorry, I'm doing a very bad job here. I'm getting quite fed up with how badly I'm doing it. It's hard to believe that I was trained to do this sort of thing for 15 years professionally, isn't it? Anyway, I will get myself into gear as soon as possible, and I'll try to fix my MacBook in my hospital bed. Should be fun. I'll just get this uploaded so you can watch this rubbish and just cry yourself to tears thinking how pathetic it is. But please do keep on watching, because I can assure you, you will learn some very, 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 very powerful and very useful things that will make sure that you do achieve your goals. It always really upsets me when people come to me and say, look, the law of attraction doesn't work. It's just a con trick. And the problem is most of the people that do law of attraction things seem to add money-making schemes to them. But there's no need to do that, because it's a natural law and it was given to us by our Creator. So if, like me, you were lucky enough to learn about it from your parents, I didn't have to pay them to learn, so I shouldn't charge you. And I shouldn't charge anyone teaching them natural law. If you want to be a billionaire, and you always have, and you want to build all the schools I want to build in marginalised communities, then that's the important thing. Just keep going until you've finished it. You only fail if you give up, my mother used to say. That's the only time you fail. And knowing that the law of attraction is so powerful stops you from giving up. Anyway, stay safe, happy, healthy and everything in this wonderful COVID time. And do try to think of what you really want, and no holds barred. However ridiculous it might sound, you don't have to put a limit on it. You don't have to think, oh, that's not feasible. Oh, no, I can't do that. Because reality isn't what we are taught in school. Reality is much more powerful and magical than we most of us realise. But anyway, I'll stop there. Everything around us is pure magic. Everything is just pure magic and just pure love. And it's quite amazing how everything is sort of distorted when we're being brought up in society by the education system. Not that they intentionally mislead us. They don't. They just try to prepare us for what they believe is the reality. But the reality is much more fantastic than it says in books. Anyway, stay safe and happy and healthy. Bye. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. I'm sorry it's a bit horrific with not breathing properly, but just hang in there, please. Thank you. Bye.